Greetings, beloved beings, fellow travelers on this planet, and guests from other realms. My name is Izobel Freeman, and I'm going to be doing a general reading for the collective for the week of October 22nd through the 28th, 2017. I hope you all had a chance to make some great wishes for new moon in Libra. I know I did. I can't wait to see what changes occur in the world as a result of our loving and focused intentions. There's a lot that needs healing, and I'm confident that if we stay heart-based, we'll be able to hear the gentle voice of spirit when it inspires us to act for the highest good of all. Before I get started with this week's reading, as I've said in previous readings, I'm doing my best to give you all a basic astrological forecast in addition to reading cards, because we often get messages regarding the week's energetic climate, and the cards themselves also have so many astrological correspondences. I want you all to have context for these, so here we go. Today, Mars leaves the sign of Virgo and joins lovely Lady Venus in Libra. Mars in Libra teaches us to be assertive when it comes to making the world a better place for everyone. Mars is all about aggression and passion, and Libra wants a fair deal for all involved. Over the course of the next 6 weeks, you may feel inspired to support a cause you truly believe in and take action for the betterment of humanity and the planet. This is a great impulse. Just make sure your raw passion is tempered by Libra's reason and Venus's love, so you can avoid trampling on the rights of others in the pursuit of positive change. Tomorrow, the 23rd, the bright, beautiful sun leaves the sign of Libra and joins Jupiter and Mercury in the deep and transformative sign of Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios! The sun is blessing your sign for yet another year, and with expansive Jupiter and quick-witted Mercury also in Scorpio, it's a fortunate time for all of you born in this sign. The sun in Libra asked us all to examine our relationships with others and with the larger world. The sun rules our sense of self and how we literally shine in public. So the season of Libra opened up many issues of us versus them. And as the sun now enters deep-thinking Scorpio, we're hopefully going to get some much-needed mental firepower to address these issues in a new way. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the lord of the subconscious and of alchemical transformation. If anyone can help us get to the bottom of the complex challenges that face our world, it's Pluto. The journey may be intense, however, so again, stay heart-centered and grounded, everyone. Whatever truths the sun in Scorpio illuminates for us, we're going to need to address them with love and compassion rather than judgment. On Tuesday the 24th, Mercury, the planet of the mind, of communication, and of technology, forms a harmonious trine relationship with Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and psychic ability. Mercury is in Scorpio and Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces, so water sign empathy will definitely be increased during this transit. It's a great time to have those deep conversations you've been wanting to have with friends and family, or to do anything artistic, spiritual, or heart-based. Neptune in Pisces will lend a gentle, dreamy quality to your thoughts, and meditation, prayer, or some other communion with the divine will be deeply rewarding. Whether you're spending these next few days alone or with others, expect pleasant results, especially if you can let go of the need to control circumstances, or to have every detail turn out the way you planned. This is a transit of soft surprises, so be open to letting good things in rather than making them happen. Wednesday the 25th looks relatively astrologically quiet, although I will mention that the day should feel gently positive, not only because of that Mercury-Neptune trine, but also due to the moon forming 3 supportive sextile relationships with the sun, Jupiter, and Neptune. I don't often address the moon's aspects in my forecasts, because the moon moves so quickly that each of these transits will only last a few hours at the longest. But I couldn't help but notice how harmonious they all were, so I felt I should mention them. Wednesday promises to be a gentle mix of the moon's intuition and sensitivity, coupled with the sun's self-love, Jupiter's expansive charm, and Neptune's deep psychic insights. This makes Wednesday's energetic climate lovely for anything joyful, heart-based, and intuitive. Tuesday and Wednesday feel like a much-needed spa for the soul. So enjoy this preamble to even more good, because on Thursday the 26th, the sun catches up with Big Daddy Jupiter in Scorpio, forming a big-hearted conjunction. This is an extremely positive aspect that only happens once a year, so celebrate it by embodying all the best qualities of these upbeat and expansive juggernauts. As I said, the sun is about your sense of self, and Jupiter is optimistic, generous, and lucky. So Thursday is a great day to begin anything new, or to recommit to your most cherished dreams. The chances of a fun surprise or a fortunate windfall are high depending on where your own planets are on your personal astrology chart, and you might just find yourself in a better mood in general. If you're feeling Jupiter's giving spirit, this is a wonderful time to donate to your favorite charities and pat yourself on the back for helping make the world just a little brighter. Having fun with friends and family is also favored, as well as pretty much any activity that brings you joy. The only tiny downside to this transit is that you might overdo it when it comes to spending or celebrating, so make sure you know your limits and don't sacrifice your long-term happiness for a short-term high. That being said, eat, drink, and be merry, friends, because on Friday the 27th, we have 2 transits involving our deep and mysterious friend Pluto. The first is a square between this underworld planet and Divine Lady Venus, the planet of love and fortune. Remember those positive Venus and Mars trines to Pluto way back on the 1st and the 3rd? Well, now Venus is forming a more intense square to Pluto, and Mars will follow her in doing this in mid-November. Those of you who are in relationships, or who found new love during Venus trine Pluto, may feel your relationship being tested, because a square can be potentially challenging between the 2 planets involved. Issues of power or control may come bubbling up from Pluto's depths to be soothed by Venus's love. If any of you have unresolved hurts when it comes to jealousy, possessiveness, or manipulation, they could be activated by the tension of this transit. It's vitally important to stay heart-centered and hear the other person out, because any anger or control is most likely coming from deep pain when it comes to self-worth and one's own ability to feel lovable. Staying heart-based will allow you to remain compassionate while being able to clearly determine whether this relationship is worth continuing or whether you've learned what you needed to and it's time to move on. Whatever happens this Friday, it will be transformative, so try to withhold judgment in favor of seeing how it works out for your highest good. The second Pluto aspect on Friday is a harmonious sextile relationship with communicative Mercury. This transit will really help those of you having transformative conversations when it comes to your relationships. And in fact, it will sharpen your mind in general, especially when it comes to deep and esoteric subjects. Pluto's penetrating energy wants to understand all that is unknown. So when he teams up with Mercury's genius, it's a great day to study anything that fascinates you, whether that be yourself, another person, or something in the wider world. Whatever it is you take it upon yourself to understand, realize that the driving force behind your fascination is your own need to grow as a soul. So take time to feel appreciation and gratitude for your own process. There is so much you're exploring and integrating, and it's all part of the great divine mystery of consciousness. So enjoy the journey, friends. After all that, Saturday the 28th is going to be relatively astrologically quiet, which means we're going to get a chance to process this week's amazing energy. There's a lot going on, and it's going to feel good to have some downtime. Okay, looks like a pretty supportive week overall, even with Pluto in the mix. I'm eager to hear what our friends in spirit have to say about things. So let's get to the cards, shall we? As I do in every reading, I'm going to begin by lighting my little candle for my beautiful spirit kitty Pinky, who was in physical with me until 2015 and was and still is my greatest spiritual teacher. Okay, lots of good stuff feeling out this week. The energy's really supportive. That's going to be a really nice respite from some of the more dramatic readings that we've been having lately, and I'm excited to share what the guides have to say with all of you. As I've done in all my previous readings, I'm just going to begin by turning this beautiful Angel Tarot deck over and seeing what we have for our overall energy. All right, the Dreamer. It seems like some of you were making really good new moon wishes because you reached that 0 point energy source. Anything could happen. Innocent child of the universe place. Good for you. I am so happy for those of you who can feel your dreams manifesting, who can feel them incubating, or can feel that the package from the universe is on its way to you. That's really, really wonderful. 0, of course, contains everything. 0 is all things and nothing at the same time. That is the dichotomy and the wonderful paradox of reality, is that you go back and back and back, and before the Big Bang, what was there? There was no thing, right? It feels very zen, very, the sound of one hand clapping. It's a mind twister. And it's always going to be that mystery that we continue to chase in order to understand ourselves and the divine, because we are the divine. The dreamer, Archangel Metatron, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. This is lovely, lovely, beautiful energy to have underneath our reading for overall energy. You can see here, he's got open horizons. He's surrounded by this kind of zero symbol here. You can see all of the things waiting to manifest into his reality. These are all dreams, wishes, hopes and desires for the future, things that could come into his experience that he is looking out into the wider world and expecting to come to him. And this card corresponds to the Fool card in traditional tarot. And the Fool is the innocent. The Fool is the trusting, unformed soul before it begins its journey. It's the first card in the deck, and you can see this just trust of life, not worrying, not calculating. What was I saying about letting things happen instead of making them happen? That's definitely the energy of this. You can see here, maybe I always point it out, but it's a little bit hard to see. He's got the sign of Uranus on his lapel. Metatron is the angel that teaches us how to bend space and time in order to manifest our desires from the realm of spirit and imagination and possibility and into the realm of 3D space-time and actuality, physical reality. This Uranian energy that he carries with him, it corresponds to it really has a kind of an Aquarian energy. Because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, I always kind of make a correspondence from this card to Aquarius energy. It's that you've probably heard a lot of people talking about the age of Aquarius that we are supposedly in or about to go into right now. And this energy of the dreamer underneath the age of Aquarius is the energy of idealism. It's the energy of anything could happen. It's the energy of let's make the world into a place that we would want to be in, the place of our wishes and highest magic hopes and dreams. And so this leap of faith that the card is talking about points to the Fool or the dreamer's complete trust in the universe, that he has no worries. He's not trying to control things with his ego. He's just going to step out on his path and expect the path, the stones to rise up beneath his feet whenever he needs them to, and for the right people, circumstances and things in his life to appear when they need to. He's not enforcing his ego will on anything, and therefore everything is open to him. And magic happens in his life for real because he doesn't expect to have control, or he doesn't expect to have to control circumstances. This is that unexpected opportunities, those wonderful, possible windfalls that are coming. Very positive, very dreamy, very magical aspects happening this week, and this whole overall energy definitely feels like that. I always point out the happy dog at his side because animals are so much better than we are at this. This is one of the many things that Pinky taught me while she was here in physical with me and continues to teach me now. This deep trust that the animal kingdom and the plants and the minerals that you see, some of the crystal friends that I have on this table, all of physical reality, unlike humanity, because most of physical reality doesn't have the type of ego structure that we have in the mind, has an easier time just trusting that creation is on their side, that things are trying to work out for them, and that everything is working out for the highest good. Animals also can see spirit, and they remember where they came from, and they know they're coming back. So life and death don't have the same crazy, scary meanings to them that they do for us. And so this dog being here is this reminder to be joyful, to remember we're eternal beings, and to trust the source where we came from and the source where we're going. Because everything is this divine zero circle, this Ouroboros, this cycle of birth and death and birth and death and recreation. And so we have nothing to fear. This is the best energy ever to put under a reading, especially after new moon, and I'm very excited for all of us. Magical! All right, I'm going to start shuffling for my quick cross spread, which those of you who have been following my readings so far know is a spread that I came up with for myself, for my own purposes and my own use, but I do share the spread with you all for my general readings. And as I shuffle in this very intuitive, very loose, kind of, I call it my mushy way of shuffling, it allows cards to kind of see, this one wants to just fall off the bottom, of their own accord, either pop out or fall out. Sometimes cards literally jump out, and I will be laying down the spread and explaining it to you all here. First position in the quick cross spread is the recent past into present of the collective. Next position is going to be present into near future, and then I'll continue to lay the spread out from there. So as I shuffle, I am, first of all, very excited for this reading because the energy is so cool this week. I mean, we've been having some pretty intense aspects going on. And yes, there is that one Pluto square going on this week, but it feels the energy, the awkwardness, whatever awkwardness that brings up, feels really overshadowed by the positive Jupiter and Neptune aspects going on. Okay, this one wants to float off the top, so let's let it. This is, again, the present into near future position. Next, we're going to move on to a vertical, which represents the mind or higher mind, heart and body subconscious wisdom of the collective. And as I shuffle, I am inviting in all of my benevolent guides, my beautiful animal spirit friends, my angels, any light-based, loving, and interested beings who want to help us out in our process here as a human family on planet Earth. Like I said last week, go humans, go planet. Whoa! All right, spoilers. 2 cards for the top position. You see how sometimes cards just leap out? So those of you may have gotten a peek at the first card that's going to come out for mind or higher mind. And sometimes we do get 2 cards for one position, so that's very interesting. Lots of energy. Cards are literally jumping around. So much fun. Okay, that one wants to come out. Heart position. Yeah, some of you made great wishes and they're already incubating in that 0 point source place. And by the time the full moon rolls around, that's how these lunar cycles work. By the time full moon at the beginning of November happens, this one wants to come up, body subconscious wisdom, you should start seeing inklings. The universe should start showing you some sort of previews of coming attractions for the wishes that you've made. You might start seeing things pop up in the external world, little signs, little in-jokes that the universe is giving to you that only you understand, and you know that you made that wish and it's giving you a sign. So watch for it. All right, next position is going to be what can help us on our journey as a human collective. Whether that be spiritual, mental, physical, or emotional aid. There we go. And last position is what some people like to call the outcome position. I like to call it the highest probable, this one wants to come out, position, because we are all in control of our own future, both as a collective by agreement and as individuals, because we're creating our experience from moment to moment through law of attraction. And the future is always up to us. So while there is a great probability that the direction will be moving this way, you always have complete control over how your reality spins that energy. All right, let's see what's going on recent past into present. All right, yay, 6 of air. Things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. This card, I always love seeing this card after we've had some rough energy. Remember that 3 of air has been hanging out where it's the deep sadness, this, inability to even deal with the grief and the processing of pain and things. And we just kind of all had to take a break and go inside and figure out how in the world we were going to redefine things so that they served us. It looks like many of you have been able to take that time and go through some of your own process. It doesn't mean it's completely over. This is not like you're not free and clear just yet, but it does mean that you're on the way to a better place. And that can be really encouraging, especially after some of the stuff that's just been hammering on us for the last couple of weeks. Not only in our private lives, but especially out in the wider world. There's been a lot of craziness, a lot of sad things going on, a lot of natural disasters, a lot of people just in really hard places. The 6, numerologically, is the number of love. And so that's a very encouraging energy. It really feels like that whole Venus in Libra, once Venus entered Libra, we kind of got the undercurrent of this supportive, unconditional love. She really does well when she's in that sign. And it seems like Mars is going to join her now, and the 2 lovers will be holding up the divine masculine and feminine aspects within that sign. And Libra, of course, is all about how we relate to not only our partners, but to the wider world. It's all about relationships. And so you can see here this unicorn is in this boat, traveling forward away from what seems to be a very kind of chaotic and crazy-making situation. It doesn't mean that the situation's completely over, because this looks like, remember that leap of faith that the 0 card was talking about? There's always this kind of precipice. It looks like a waterfall that the unicorn might have to go over in this boat, and that he or she is kind of looking down and going, oh no, can I do this? And this feels like that last hurdle, the last hump, the last, maybe the difficult situations that some of you are dealing with relationship-wise this week, maybe some of those conversations that you need to have with friends and family that you've been putting off for a long time because you just wanted to not rock the boat, literally, not rock the boat, and now you're going to have to, because you got to take the plunge into your future. You've got to take that leap of faith and show the universe that you're willing to do what it takes to get in a different place. The end of a difficult situation. Some of you could be taking literal trips to either get away from a certain situation or to go to have those conversations with the people you need to have, or to go walk about. This could be a literal physical trip that you go on, but it could also be a trip that you go on inside your own heart, inside your own mind, so that you can take a sort of spiritual journey, take a little walkabout inside, redefine some things, and make it so somehow the events of the last few weeks that have been very traumatic and difficult get redefined so that you can see some good coming out of them, some sort of hope. This is great. Great to have this at the beginning. I'm happy for those of you who are successfully processing things. Some of you are still going through stuff. That's why this isn't completely over. But it is looking up, which is great. Okay, present into near future. Okay. Some of you are still processing that. See, this is that dualistic thing where some of you are getting some traction on these situations, and some of you are still in the midst of things. It looks like the roller coaster of the great wider world is not quite through with us. We could be getting more news of shocks to the system as far as the collective goes. We could, some of you could be having those relationship, that Pluto square aspect where you're going to have to reevaluate the relationship that you're in. Oh, that could be tough for some of you, but I hope you can see. I've talked about this 3 for the last 2 weeks because it has been showing up quite often. Once here in the beginning position with a different card, and once here squarely in the mind of the collective. This is a great time of trial, both collectively and for many of us as individuals, because we're going through such dramatic reinvention of self, such dramatic questioning of belief systems. The stuff that's going on in the world is really making us have to look at ourselves and look at others in that deep way. I mean, that Libra-Scorpio shift that we're seeing so many planets leaving Libra and going into Scorpio. Scorpio is a deep thinking, contemplative, what does it mean energy. What does it mean, all of these things that have been going on out there, and the us versus them issues that may not have presented solutions yet, that may not have manifested easy fixes, that we're still kind of wrestling with. Like I said, I've been talking about the 3 of air for the last couple of readings. 3 is this divine number of creation. It's always this kind of completion, a feeling of divine completion, almost like, you make 2 dots and you get a line, but if you make a third, you get a shape, a triangle. And that creates a plane, and it shifts things into a new dimension. And when a divine masculine aspect and a divine feminine aspect come together to co-create, polar opposites, these could be opposites of any stripe. It doesn't necessarily mean the sexes out in physical reality. It sometimes means light versus dark. It sometimes means any pair of dualistic opposites that come together and somehow co-create to make a third thing that was never there before. And it is new, it is revolutionary. This feels again like that Uranian energy, and this is what I was talking about with the new moon having that Uranus opposition to it. This feels definitely like the potential of making something new, and yet the new thing is being born out of great sadness, and many of us need to take that time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. This is a huge theme in the world right now. So many drastic things going on that make you just want to lash out and take it out on other people, or get revenge for something, or I don't know, just do something violent. And that's that Mars energy that we're going to need to channel, because Mars into Libra is going to want to do something drastic for a cause. And this need to forgive yourself and others is huge now, because that's what Libra is all about making us face. Is Mars wants to, just stomp on the problem and make it go away. And Libra says, no, we have to compromise. We have to find some sort of balance. Remember that balance card that was here in the help position last time? That's this energy, the need for forgiveness and the need to reassess why things are happening. Maybe address the feelings, maybe address that maybe these things come out of great sadness or desperation or fear or anger, low vibration emotions that we have far too much of in the world right now. And something has to tip the scales of Libra in the direction of unconditional love. Venus being in Libra hopefully will help us do that. Those of you who are in mourning or in process right now, please know that this is a valid place to be. Just because, I'm super excited that some of you are moving forward with your leaps of faith doesn't mean that I invalidate the place that some of you still are in your process of grieving, your process of making some sort of meaning out of all of this. Take whatever time, do whatever you need, because it's valid. And yeah, that's worth saying. Okay, let's get to our spoiler cards on this top position of mind or higher mind. I'm going to read the one that got laid down first, the one that flipped out first. Some of you may have seen it. Okay, 2 of Earth. Too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. What did I just say about there needing to be more high energy emotions in the world in order to offset the cycle of fear, the cycle of violence, the cycle of scarcity, of everyone saying, no, me, and not taking into account anyone else. This 2 has that balancing secret in it. 2 can be a number of partnership. 2 can also be a number of balance. And this feels like that need to balance things because there's too much stuff. We're feeling very overwhelmed because every day it seems like something new, some giant new thing comes along, and we haven't even finished processing all the old stuff, all the stuff that just happened. But, there's always that new thing. And for some of you, just trying to keep it together day to day, just working or satisfying the needs of family and friends, or, trying to find your own identity in a world that is constantly shifting, and technology is changing every day too. So it really feels like that overwhelm. You can see this fairy is flying away, and it really seems like she's running from something. Two is, again, because it's a 2, it's a dualistic number. It's a us, them, it's an if, then, or maybe not, yes, no type of number. It can be binary like that, dualistic like that, where it's us versus them, and there has to be a choice of one or the other. Or it can be that balance of partnership like the scales of Libra, or like you and another person, or like you and a group of people. It can be me versus the collective, like that Uranus opposition energy that's been hanging around for a while now. So yeah, this considering a more playful approach. This is higher mind's little tack on this card of advice, of saying, hey, take a deep breath. Because even though this fairy is flying desperately away from something, hopefully you can see she's got this globe, and in it are these 2 golden orbs that symbolize sort of like coins, like she's got this treasure that she does have, and it's abundance of a sort. It's her resources, her power, her potential, her personal potential to redefine and possibly lighten up about this situation that seems to be so dire. Maybe finding some sort of way to raise the emotional vibration and bring more joy to the situation. This is her secret power here, that you can see that she's not even looking at it. She's so focused on running wherever she's trying to get to, or, her trajectory is away from something, that she's got this power, but she's not actually using it. And you can feel that energy through this card. And so that's where many of you are in the mind, and that's understandable. Let's see what this other card is that they gave us. Ace of Air. See what I mean about that Uranian revolution that happens many times out of great sadness? Something happens that's really magical and revolutionary. Great ideas sometimes come out of becoming really squeezed. Like we get squeezed really hard and we get put under a lot of stress and tension, and then suddenly the lightning bolt of inspiration. Air cards are all about the mind, so this is an inspiration in the mind. This is an aha moment. This is a eureka moment that happens. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. Yes. All of this feels like, again, there's that 0-point dreamer energy of the leap of faith that needs to happen. And again, this precipice that this unicorn seems to need to go over in order to get away from the current situation and get to hopefully calmer waters. I always imagine that there's like a calm pool or a calm stream with a very glassy surface waiting below this precipice. And this inspiration is a challenging beginning, but so magical and worth it. You can see and again, this feels like a balance right here. You can see the wings outstretched on either side of the card. This card feels very symmetrical and balanced, like it weighs the same amount on either side mostly. And you can see this unicorn has these giant wings, so it's ready to fly. But I always note on this card that the unicorn is able to fly. It has the power, just like this fairy has some secret resource that she's not taking advantage of yet. This unicorn has these giant wings and it is going to fly, but it can't fly yet because it is locked inside of this foresty woodland area with the canopy of the forest above, where it can't get to the sky just yet. So it's gingerly picking its way along these giant branches. Wow, look at the size of these branches here. It's picking its way along, being very careful, thinking out its next steps. And this symbolizes that need for that deep Oh, the deep depths of the Scorpio mind. That really feels like that energy too. Now that Mercury's in Scorpio, very contemplative, very willing to analyze and to see the truth. Seeing the truth of a situation. There's no better sign than Scorpio for getting to the nitty gritty, especially when facts have been obscured, when things have been hidden. Scorpio digs deep. It really does. It's an energy of, I'm going to uncover the truth at all costs. And so this energy you might see this coming out in the news, on the world stage, truths being revealed, new information coming up that revolutionizes the way we think, or that completely flips the table on a situation that we thought was one way and may turn out being another. It's a challenging beginning, just like this unicorn can't fly yet and is having to be very careful. So it's challenging, just like this precipice and just like that leap of faith from the Dreamer card, but worth it. This ace is such a high energy card, and it's really nice to have these two. Whenever we get two cards, sometimes there's a probability split, and you can decide which of these energies you're going to fall on the side of. Again, this feels like that balancing act again. Which side are you going to tip onto? The side of overwhelm and throwing your hands up and not knowing what to do, or the side of being inspired? This is the side of looking at problems and saying, these are all the problems, and the problems make me feel bad. And this is the side of, okay, we've got these problems, now what? How can we, this is the solution side. And in a way, it's kind of, finite human mind that can't see around the next corner and so gets scared. Whenever we can't see everything that's happening, we don't know what's going to happen next, we get some fear and some overwhelm coming up, especially when there's a lot going on. There's a lot to process. And this is higher mind. The higher mind, I always tell Spirit, whenever Spirit's like, oh, don't worry about something, I go, yeah, easy for you guys to say, because you're up there with this bird's eye view. You can see everything from above. You're not down here being little me in the, mouse maze, trying to see around the corner to see where my cheese is and not being able to see if, there are traps around the corner or there's something scary. You guys get to see it from above. Well, luckily, we do have a conduit to higher mind. That's our intuition. It's our heart center. It's just like this very secret superpower that she's not using. We do have this secret ace in the hole. We have this superpower of higher mind letting us know things are going to work out. Some great good is going to come out of all of this sadness and stress and overwhelm and unfortunate things going on in the world and in our lives. Some Uranian dreamer 0 point windfall. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Really wonderful. In order to take advantage of our conduit to higher mind, we have to go through the heart processor. The issue is that our conscious brain gets in the way of getting to higher mind all the time because we're thinking, we're worrying, and rightly so. Some of us have a lot to worry about. But if we can get heart-centered, if we can trust the heart processor, this heart processor not only is more powerful than the conscious human mind, it, maybe not so intuitively to our human mind, has a direct link to higher mind. It's almost like higher mind and the heart processor are just partnered. They're dual processors. And when we start to move our energy into our heart, we get also the rocket booster of higher mind, which is great. Let's see what's in the heart. The Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, witty, objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. Yes, absolutely. This is definitely the energy we really need to have. Remember how I said that Venus rules Libra. And so she's at home right now. She's at home in her home sign, and this very much feels like Venus in Libra. The energy of, hey, you are heart-based enough to lighten up about what's going on in your life and in the world. And Libra takes this balanced this very objective view of things going on in your life. This is beautiful energy. It is really needed. And you can see in her globe, it's almost as if she is holding this ace, this potential of having this brand new lightning strike, inspiration, aha moment. So great. This is our first court card on the board. Court cards, meaning the kings and queens and knights and pages in the tarot, in the angel tarot, they can represent people, actual human beings coming into your life and teaching you valuable lessons about how to become more this way, how to add this energy to your way of being and to your thinking process, or your feeling process if it's a water card. Yes, so sexes don't really matter in tarot. It's more the energy of the card. He, she, they could be an air sign like a Libra or an Aquarius or a Gemini, who comes in to teach you how to be objective in your decision making, how to clear away all the stuff maybe that's making you feel overwhelmed in your life, to simplify your life in some way, or to simplify how you're looking at a situation so that you can see from that bird's eye view of higher mind that I was talking about. You can see it from above and see the human game being played out. And possibly, I know that some of you who are going through this may not be in the place where you can either do that or think about doing that or even want to do that, but possibly see some little glimmer of, haha, aren't people funny? Aren't things in the world funny? Isn't this game we're all playing a little bit amusing? And yeah, that can be a hard thing to do when there are real life or death things going on, and tragic stuff. And it all, again, is going to come down to how you view your cosmology, whether or not you believe you're an eternal being or not, whether you look at things from a finite human being point of view or whether you look at it from the point of view of spirit. And that's your decision. And either way, totally valid. The guides are just letting you know, you are, and this is a very air sign way of putting it, air signs have this notorious reputation for sort of not mincing words, and they really get to the point. That's why they're so good at cutting away things that don't serve you, is they can kind of see, they get down to brass tacks really quickly, and the Queen of Air is here to let you know you are an eternal being. You can play the game as if you're not, if you want to, because that's your divine right as a divine being. What's really great about being a divine being is that you can believe that you're not, and reality will confirm that for you. But if you open your mind or higher mind to the possibility that you are an eternal being and that you can gain a higher view, look at all this air on the board. Wow. If you just leave the door cracked to that possibility that you are eternal, that we're here for a reason, that this game of craziness that's going on this planet is occurring for a reason, for our own evolution as divine souls, that can be a big deal and very empowering for you. And it can soothe. It can lend meaning to things that are going on now. It can possibly give hope for a more eternal viewpoint of the game, and hopefully help you lighten up a little bit. They keep talking about this, consider a more playful approach, see the humor in a situation. Guides are saying, hey, from our point of view, this is amazingly fascinating, what's going on in the human game. And again, some of you are not in that place, and that's okay. All right, body, subconscious wisdom. Four of Earth, remember she was here in the heart last time, and now she's down in body, subconscious. So some of you have internalized this deep on a root level. This is that card that we were harping on last week about sort of Mother Earth, talking about the fact that we're sort of really focused on us and our own survival monetarily, many of us right now. And this has moved from this heart worry into this kind of survival place. So for some of you, this has become more acute, more of a, and it may be informing this overwhelm of feeling that like too much is going on and you can't solve it yourself. So yeah, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. This is a card that sometimes has this kind of contradictory thing because it says being too frivolous and too cautious with money, and yet it says good business decisions. So this is combined caution and advice right here in this card's energy. This card not only feels like that Venus in Libra because it's, again, very balanced and symmetrical, and it's a divine feminine aspect helping us out to be a little more grounded during this time of kind of chaotic energy that's going on. This can apply to that Jupiter day where we're all going to feel like Sun Jupiter day where we're all going to feel like, hey, we're going to spend money and have and party. This is just letting us know, hey, spend money and party, but for your highest good. Make those good business decisions. This card was really heavily infused with earth energy last time because it really felt like Mother Earth. This is a foundational number 4. When I've said before that whenever you have 4 legs on a chair or 4 legs on a table or 4 posts to sink a foundation of a house, you feel very stable. You have to have that weight-bearing quality. And you've heard of the phrase, the 4 corners of the earth. Earth as an element sometimes is represented by a cube in certain philosophical ways of thinking. So, Earth, definitely a very earthy card here, very practical. Yeah, this, and you can see her looking at you, and this really felt like last time the planet letting us know, hey, I'm your foundation. And it makes sense that she's moved down into this root level because many of us really do need to touch the planet and realize that we have a planetary foundation. Not only can we take solace from the overwhelm and some of the grief and some of the anger and lower vibrational emotions, we can take that solace when we meditate in natural settings, when we go out in nature in general, when we remind ourselves that there's a bigger world out there than just us and our problems. This can be a comforting card. It can also be a card that sort of gives you a little tough love. You can see that she's looking at you and she's saying, hey, are you giving to those less fortunate? Are you not only worrying about yourself, or are you so wrapped up in your own stuff that you're not realizing that you're part of a collective and that you're part of a wider world? That we talked last time about making sure that these good business decisions involve being socially and planetarily responsible. It's no longer the type of game where it's just me and mine. It is the theme of our time. That it's more than just me. It's more than just us versus them. It's not about tribalism anymore. It's about collective human survival on a planet and our place in the wider ecosystem. Our place not only in humanity, but also in the world as a whole. Not just the human species, but plants and animals and our mineral friends and the resources of the planet too. So this is a very big theme. Those of you who for whom it applies will know which of these directions that she's speaking to you on. Just use your own intuition, feel the energy of this card, and figure out which theme that you're needing to be pursuing, whether you need to seek solace by connecting to the planet and seek respite from this overwhelm by connecting to your mother and realizing that she's big and bountiful and she loves you and she's been supporting us for millions and billions of years. So yeah, she has some wisdom and you can get some peace by meditating in a natural environment or just going out in nature in general. Or whether the theme for you for this card is hey, you're afraid for your own survival and your own stuff, and that is making you maybe turn a blind eye to the needs of the planet or of humanity as a whole, and taking into account how you, with your good business decisions and your new inventions or your new business model or your system or whatever it is that you're trying to develop for your own monetary gains, taking a little bit to realize that making that good for everyone, making sure that whatever it is you're developing benefits the maximum amount of humans on the planet, can make your business incredibly lucrative and can gain you so much fan and customer loyalty. And it changes, and plus you get that beautiful feeling of having made the world a better place at the same time. So these couple of themes still with us, very much in the root level. Let's see what the rest of the reading says to inform all of that. Let's see what we've got in the help position. The Chariot, right. Archangel Metatron, an important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition. This is another major arcana and another Metatron. Oh, look, he's back twice. Once as the Dreamer on the 0 card, and now here as the Chariot. Some archangels in this Angel Tarot deck do show up on more than one card, and these are the 2 Metatron cards. So this Chariot also alludes to Metatron's special light body vehicle, one of which we all possess, called the Merkaba, or the light body itself. And you activate this space and time reality distortion creating engine by learning to balance the duality within you, by learning to be heart-based, by learning to quiet the monkey mind that makes you worry all the time, and by learning to feel coherent love, consistent coherent love, where the heart is full of compassion and forgiveness. Where is that? Oh, it was, right here on the 3 of air. Forgive yourself and others. When you are in a place where you're completely heart-based and you trust Source, just like the Dreamer, you gain access to this reality-bending engine where the duality is balanced. You can see this black horse and this white horse, both incredible sources of power, both moving in the same direction rather than being at odds with each other and pulling in an us versus them fashion. See this full moon back here? This is again that clue that some of you have made some really great world balancing, you balancing wishes during new moon in Libra. And that revolutionary Uranian, or the Uranus opposition energy, is going to propel you forward in this wonderful way. And you can see the full moon here giving you a little preview of coming attractions. Like I said, by the time full moon rolls around in November, first weekend of November, some of you are going to be seeing some real signs of your wishes being manifested in the world. They might not be fully manifested, but you will be getting some sort of message from the universe, or some sort of sign that something is happening, that your achievements are moving forward. This is the card of, first of all, it's super lucky because it's your lucky 7. 7 is that incredibly fortunate number of just having the secret superpower, lucky energy. Very Jupiter feeling, also energy of bombasticness and everything working out in your favor, but also this incredibly self-empowered, being in the driver's seat of your own life type energy. And having self-discipline and willpower is really, again, connecting to that, hey, I'm going to be good for me and for everyone else, and I'm going to rein myself in from just knee-jerk reacting to everything. I'm going to keep my brain from running away with me. I'm going to keep my emotions from running away with me and making me just a reactionary person instead of a person who is a revolutionary and an inventor and takes the problems and makes something new out of them. Yeah. And what did I say about being socially responsible and being planetarily minded? It gets you public recognition. It's like the guides are just corroborating all of that download that I just got from the Four of Earth. Beautiful. This is going to help you. Metatron is really powerfully hanging around right now because of that new moon in Libra, Uranus 0 point energy that we all had and the wishes that we've all made. And I am so excited for this. This is brilliant help. And some of you are getting in that heart-based place where you can start to see clearly instead of feeling like you have to just react to whatever's going on now, whatever headline pops up next, or whatever somebody says on Facebook, or whatever someone in your life does. This is the end of reacting and the beginning of invention. And the earth reminding you, hey, I'm here too. And you need to take me into account. You also need to depend on me. Because seeing yourself as part of a larger whole is going to give you meaning in the larger game, and much more power to move your wishes forward. Yes, beautiful. You're going to be in the driver's seat. This is great. Metatron showing up twice means that you can call on him in meditation too, so don't forget about that. Especially when you're in that heart-based place and you're looking for that airy idea, lightning strike inspiration. Metatron's great for those types of aha moments. So definitely do your meditating, guys. Okay, probable direction we're going to be moving in. 10 of Water, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, trustworthy relationships. Look at this water card. Yay, this is all about feeling better. Those of us who have been in some tough situations here, gonna feel better. 10 is this beautiful number of not only the completion of a 9, but also 10 numerologically. If you have the 1 and the 0 of the 10, they collapse to actually numerologically make a 1. And so you have this complete reinvention, which is beautiful. Apologize, I'm still fighting this kind of weird frog in my throat from last time. Yes, this is the card that reminds us why we're all doing this. You know, why are we in this game at all? What's it all for? And this is the card that always reminds me what it's all for. And family life may mean your biological family. It also might mean that you make your own family by finding soulmates in the world and building community. Or that you build a company that's got a great ethos and a great spirit to it, and everyone's excited and everyone's well compensated and everyone's happy to be there and producing their greatest work because they're there out of love. This is that card of doing everything out of love. And having everything okay. Finally, your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships, because isn't that what we want? This us versus them mentality, if we learn to forgive self and others, maybe possibly we might be able to come to this new aha moment of understanding and somehow achieve this. And this 10 of Water also has this lovely secret in it, in that it's emotion-based. Water cards are all about the heart, all about unconditional love and how we feel, feelings. And so it shows, it is connected back to this heart processor that gives us access to clear-mindedness. This also feels like that Mercury and Scorpio, like clear-mindedness that we get. Suddenly, you know, the detritus, the fog clears and we become less indecisive. The one thing about Libra sometimes that can be maybe a tiny little downside to the Libra energy is that Libra is the sign of the scales. And so it's constantly weighing one option or the other. And sometimes that can put you in that state of analysis paralysis. You see this 2 here, can be that sort of teeter-totter that you end up on, and you can't come down on a decision. You can't collapse that 2 into a 1, where you become of one mind instead of 2. Sometimes that Libra energy can make you not be able to decide, not be able to see things clearly, and not be able to see what you need to cut out of your life in order to forward your journey and to come out more streamlined, more brilliant, and more focused, right? So that Mercury in Scorpio is really giving us this, again, the wittiness and the objectiveness of the Queen of Air, which is good. So yeah, Venus in Libra and Mercury in Scorpio, definitely getting that. And 10 of Water letting us know where we can look for the answers, which is right in our heart. And the reason we're all doing this, sometimes we all just need to be reminded why. What's it all for? Well, it's all for joy. The whole point of this game and some of the hard stuff that we're going through is so that we can have these aha moments. We can grow, move forward, become something beautiful, brilliant, and new through our alchemical process, and have joy. Joy and appreciation. And sometimes joy can be more, this is going to sound so silly, but joy can feel more joyful after you've processed some hard stuff. It's kind of like the soul needs to be squeezed a little bit in order to appreciate bliss. And that's that another sort of byproduct of being in a dualistic space-time human game too. But this is very wonderful and uplifting. You can see so much mind and earth energy going on here, mostly issues of the mind, really tied up issues of the mind, some based in some problems based in that survival and overwhelm feeling in the mind. But as the spread moves on, you get some tough love from Mother Earth, but very supportive, being a foundational 4. But you get some aha moments from these air cards. The mind becomes more clear once you get into the heart processor, and then you have access to higher mind. You can move forward with speed and with clarity. The public will recognize your good work. And the probable outcome, if you latch on to this energy that is starting to develop in the later part of the spread, is that you have all of those beautiful emotions. This also feels like all that dreamy, watery Neptune energy that's going on this week. Just very supportive and womb-like. To give yourself, and this can be very helpful for those of you who need time to heal, to give yourself time to just float in a daydreamy place, or to watch your favorite fantasy movie, anything that takes you away from this overwhelm for a little while. And also to let you know that you can appreciate the things in your life that are working. That's a really good message from this card too. The more you focus on the things in your life that are working, the more you give thanks for the things in your life that are beautiful and that are the way you want them. People, the trustworthy relationships you already have, the material things and the emotional situations that you already appreciate. The more you put the laser of your consciousness, the more you see the humor, like lighten up, consider a more playful approach. There's a theme through these cards. And it's this wonderful secret. Well, it's not really a secret. The secret that the book or in the movie that came out years ago, The Secret, talk about the fact that the more you expect good things, the more you focus on good things, the more you feel happier, the more joy magnetically is attracted into your life. And this is, again, a lovely message from this card. Very supportive. Amazing. Wow. It's interesting. already gave us clarification to this Two of Earth that seemed like it might be a little overwhelming and confusing. This is a choice. It's a choice between limited mind that doesn't know what's around the next corner and higher mind. So we're free-willed divine beings, and we can make that choice. And this Four of Earth also gave us sort of a dual message of, hey, either trust planet Earth and put your feet on the ground and meditate with me and be comforted by your mother, or hey, you're forgetting about the planet and you need to consider that, consider the collective and the planet as a whole in your business ventures. So I don't see any of these needing clarification. Those of you who are going through this know where you are and who you are, and it's okay. Those of you who are for whom things are looking up and things are changing and shifting, and you might be seeing new environments or taking yourself into new domains of thought and feeling, great, very happy for you. But the secret for all of us, again, get heart-centered, get a little more playful and joyful, focus on what is working. Wait for that aha moment as you become more joyful, because this beautiful Ace of Air will be coming for you. Watch for the Queen of Air, her influence, either a person coming into your life or her energy coming up through you. I should have said that too. This can sometimes be not a real person, but energy coming up through you, you thinking in this way when you may not have thought this way before. And Metatron wants us to remember, because he showed up twice in this reading, and so he's being super aggressive in letting us know, hey, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm overseeing this lightning strike reinvention process on planet Earth right now. And so any of you who do take that time out, and please do, for your own sake, please do take the time out to spend time in meditation, in prayer, however you like to commune with the divine, and give a shout out to Metatron and say, hey, I saw you twice in this reading, and I need some inspiration. Show me the Ace of Air that's going, reveal to me the thing I need to know to help foster me and guide me through this process so that I can become more empowered, so that I can achieve what I want to, so that I can propel my dreams forward with both the engines of divine masculine, divine feminine, no more dualistic push-pull. Let's get all of the engines pointed in one direction, and then let's watch what happens, because this is so worth it. Beautiful. I think that's really very clear, and I'm very excited about this. Yeah, let's do some shortcuts. Lots of Neptune energy going on this week, so I'm going to see, hang on just a second, I've got to kind of reach for a deck that I have not used for you guys yet. All right. This is a very Neptunian sort of floaty energy deck. This is a celebration of love oracle. And you can see that gorgeous artwork here. Very balanced here. The art itself on the back of every one of these cards is just wonderful. You can see that moon, new moon. We're just, new moon and full moon energy here. The whole of the galaxy, divine masculine and divine feminine united in one purpose through the heart. This, wow, just reading the back of this card. This is beautiful. Being connected to the planet and to the whole of humanity through our genetic tree, and to the whole of all life on Earth through the tree of life. And you can see this fusion of opposites brings about alignment of all the chakras through the rainbow of light here. This planet united as one collective entity. And the dove of peace here. And the beautiful, I don't know if you can see this, it's a little bit hard to see. These are all little babies incubating here. The beautiful new life this creates, and the sunrise. This is a very deep image, the ocean of creation. the dolphins, which represent other intelligent life forms on this planet that, many of us don't realize are intelligent and whom are performing really vital tasks of their own on this, our planet Earth, and helping us as a collective when we don't even know it. And so invisibly supporting us. So incredibly detailed, beautiful image. And it's like a freebie just reading the back of this card. How amazing. So I'm going to do a shortcut off of this deck. I've never done it before, and I'm very excited for it. So the first step in my shortcut process is I just flip the deck over. Yes. There seems to be a theme carrying over from last week. Remember the balance card here? Integration of male and female aspects, balance. Look at this, and look, you can see that triangle fulcrum shape. Remember the triangle that I talked about when divine masculine, divine feminine come together to create a third thing? You get that triangular divine shape, the first plane in existence. Wine doesn't have, is like a one dimension. This is like a 2-dimension right here. And so you see this balance point of opposites here, this fulcrum here. And this is all happening in higher mind. And just like the Ace of Air here, this beautiful, symmetrical, winged entity, just like the Dove of Peace, you can see this energy just as a theme running throughout these cards. Gorgeous. Yeah. Learning to collapse that duality. That's what that Uranus, remember Jupiter and Uranus were opposed, and then now the new moon was at that point. And I haven't said this yet because it's spoilers and I haven't gotten to that reading yet, but for the full moon, first weekend of November, I believe Venus is going to be at that point opposite Uranus. And so we're going to get yet another activation of the same balance fulcrum point, Aries versus Libra. So here we are, same energy. I think they want us to know that we're supposed to balance things. Let me cut. Oneness with source. Look at this. Okay, so this is a visual representation of the Merkaba, the chariot that I was talking about. You see this shape often in esoteric imagery. You have the upward directed triangle of the earthly, the downward directed triangle of the heavenly, meeting and creating one thing. You hear that alchemical phrase often, as above, so below. When you unite both spirit and physical, you get this amazing power. And this is this thing where a lot of people think that spirit and physical are at odds with each other. Yet another binary opposition that we need to balance. Just like the black and white horses of this chariot. You can see once those seemingly opposite forces are moving in the same direction, you get a oneness. Your light body or chariot, Metatron's chariot, they call it the Metatron cube or the Merkaba. Your light body activates. You can see this beautiful pink heart coming, this heart shape here, coming from her heart center. And this points to, again, that secret that the heart is the gateway to be able to do that, to connect to that higher mind, to collapse those opposites, to realize there is no us and them, there is only us, and we are all one, and we are all source. It's where we came from. There's that zero of the dreamer. Same thing here on the balance card. You can see above her head that the ring of an eclipse, or the ring of a new moon, or the ring of a planetary body, or a halo on an angel, or this crystal ball. The shape they call the monad, the divine cosmic egg that we all come from, and the home to which we will all go when we pass on out of this game. You can get there without having to die. You can get to this oneness through meditation. You can get to it through ecstatic communion with the divine in any way that makes you joyful. You can get there through movement, through dance, through trance, through anything that makes your monkey mind shut down and lets your heart and your higher mind take over, and this becomes activated. It can also be activated through certain types of movement like Tai Chi or breath exercises, any sort of prana-based breath exercises. Learning to do this gives you not only the clear vision of the Queen of Air, but it also gives you the reality-bending power of Metatron. And your manifesting ability just goes through the roof. It really does. And this is again pointing to, if we balance, we will achieve this oneness with Source. So beautiful. Okay, cutting. Oh my goodness. And the secret is unconditional love. Little angels. I love this card because it has this little angel kitty, and it always reminds me of my angel kitty. And the children who remind us who we are on a daily basis through their lack of judgment. Especially the younger they are, the more they remember where we all came from and who we really are. And the fact that you're supposed to love each other. People are supposed to be nice to each other. Look at this image, this beautiful pink heart-based. So many wings today, letting us know the deceptively simple key to the solution of all of these things that we are wrestling with. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't the world be better if everyone were just a little nicer to each other? Wouldn't the world transform if everyone felt like they could be loved? This Three of Air, this great sadness that we are all enduring on one level or another. The need to forgive. Compassion and forgiveness. Unconditional love. All accessed through the heart. This is a beautiful shortcut. I am so glad that I pulled these cards out. Again, this is called the Celebration of Love deck. And so, yeah, you can see it. Achieve balance. Stop judging one thing or the other to be good or bad. Stop saying male is better, female is better. There is no better. There is just balance. They're all equal. They're all one. We're all one. We can achieve that oneness. And when we do, we will look at the world through the eyes of children and animals, just like the dreamer's happy dog. And we will have this unconditional love, and we can heal this sadness, this overwhelm. We can heal the planet, and we can all move forward into the fun and amazing and revolutionary future. Imagine what the future would look like if we didn't have to worry about people just being mean to each other from day to day. How much processing power that would free up in our minds. How much creativity it would free up in the heart. Beautiful. And profound. Any of you other tarot readers who would like to use this quick cross spread and my shortcut process that I have just demonstrated are more than welcome to do so. You just need to attribute the spread to me and link to my website, which is www.shinyallthetime.com. I have provided all of the necessary attribution information at shinyallthetime.com/cc because I've made all of these spreads available through Creative Commons license in the spirit of, oneness with the collective and being more open and generous. I want these spreads to be available, but I do want people to know that I came up with them. And so, yes, please do visit shinyallthetime.com/cc, which stands for Creative Commons, and feel free to then use my spreads in your project or in your readings and videos. Yes, and also, this deck has so wowed me in this reading. So lovely. Any of you who wish to acquire any of these beautiful decks for your own use, I do also have a resources page at shinyallthetime.com. It is shinyallthetime.com/resources, or you can find the resources page at the top of any shinyallthetime.com page, the resources link at the top of any page at my website. And if you do purchase any of these decks, a small percentage does come back to me in the form of an affiliate percentage. It helps support my work on future videos. It helps support my website. And if you do purchase a deck through my resources page, I thank you in advance. Wow, so lovely. I'm very, very excited about this shortcut. Let's see what we can do. I haven't done a reading from these guys in a while. Let's do the Keepers of the Light deck. Saint Germain, karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. Yes. Look at this again. You can see the hexagram symbol, the symbol of uniting duality. And look, you can see the sun and the moon, symbols of duality. And it's also divine masculine, divine feminine traditionally. And if you collapse these two opposites, you gain the vision of source. You gain access to higher mind. And again, you can see the same shape here and more outstretched, balanced wings. Wonderful. Yes, move beyond drama, forgive yourself and others. Consider a more playful approach. See the humor in the situation and remember why we're all doing this. Everyone in the world, no matter what tactics they're using, really they want to get to this. The goal is always the same. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to have their needs met. Everyone wants to feel empowered. Everyone wants to feel lovable. Everyone wants to feel like they matter. And if we can all recognize that commonality within us, how much more beautiful would this world be? Saint Germain. Release the karma. That karma that follows us around, this cycle of violence and loss and sadness and anger and retribution and not forgiving. This cycle that seems to plague us now, and the overwhelm of the great sadness that we have to deal with from day to day. It's so... The guides want us to know that we have the power to release it. And it's the releasing that is, it's the letting go. The letting go of having to continue that cycle. The letting go of having to hit someone back. Make room for good energy. Create your own path. Innovate your way out of this and this. Beautiful. Okay, I feel like he wants to just float off the top, so I'm gonna cut to here. Okay, Horus, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Remember how the eclipse was being talked about, the great solar eclipse on August 21st was being talked about as a cosmic gateway? Well, every single one of these major astrological alignments is a sort of gateway. It is an opportunity, an energy balance, a portal that we can go through into a new way of thinking, a new way of being, into a new aha moment potential. This is really reminding us, again, that we have attractive power depending on where we put our focus. If we put our focus on joy, if we put our focus on the reasons why we're doing things that we love, that unconditional love, if we put ourselves there energetically, we attract more of that. We're miraculous beings. Miraculous changes are occurring. We are infinite, divine, little baby gods here on planet Earth in sort of little baby God school. And this is where we learn the consequences of our focus, the consequences of our actions in the world. And Horus wants to remind us that every single time we have these beautiful, this feels again like that new moon wish that a lot of you were making. Every time we have these alignments and these energy shifts, we have opportunities to have that aha moment, to move through. You can see again, the shape. There's a round cosmic gate shape here where there's a collapse of duality. The zero shape or the circle shape is the symbol of the collapse of duality. It is the singularity. And it's, again, there's that full moon. Beautiful. All right. Okay, this cut wants to happen, so let's let it. Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Yeah. Remember I said you can get to that meditative oneness place by moving? And remember last week the goddess deck was talking to us about moving, about getting out and moving our body. And dance is a great way to be more playful. Dance is a great way to release anxiety and stress and overwhelm. But it could also be, not literal physical dance. It could be, symbolic dance, the playfulness. When he says dance with the universe, this feels like that playful approach. That not taking us and each other so seriously. And look at this beautiful moon. More of that lunar energy hanging out. And Shiva, interestingly enough, here, with the two eyes here of duality and the single eye, the third eye here of the collapse of duality. The third eye that opens when you are able to balance these energies and get yourself to be of one mind. And one mind meaning we are all one, and we all belong to the same higher mind. We are all the ace of air. Steps are being given. They want us to know that we are not alone. Mother Earth, who wants you to remember to depend on her and to remember that you are part of a collective on a big collective consciousness known as planet Earth or Gaia, and that you're not alone. You're not doing this alone. You have all sorts of beautiful divine beings with you. You've got archangels. You've got beloved family and friends who may have passed on, or animal friends who you can call on at any time when you feel like this or when you feel like this. And we're going through this process of transcendence. Somehow we will alchemically transform this energy into these beautiful new beginnings, challenging new beginnings, but worth it. And what we need to do is remember that we're going through this process of transcendence. We have this cosmic gateway opportunities, all of these alignments and all of these energies that are happening now are these opportunities for us to release karma, balance duality, and become something beautiful and new that has that single point, that just like the dreamer, that there's 0 point source energy where everything collapses to that one big bang moment. And that's ultimate creation, and it's the engine of how we make reality. This is really how we do it, friends. Some of that was a little deep and esoteric, and I hope that some of you could follow that. If not, just let the energy wash over you, let your intuition guide you, and feel the vibration of love that is behind all of these readings. Beautiful shortcuts, very supportive and loving, and also deep and transcendent, and letting us know, hey, we're divine beings and we're here doing this for a reason. And that reason is to appreciate all the different ways that we can feel joy on this planet. Okay, let's do our Angel Answers card. I'd just like to flip the deck. Yes! Remember how I said that Mars is going to make you want, Mars into Libra, going to make you want to take action on something that's important to you? Yeah, so good. Do that. Remember to do it from a loving place. Act from higher mind. Be solution oriented and take action. The world, as I said last time, is waiting for your inspiration. The public is waiting to hear what you have to say. Look, feel that same energy, the beautiful forward motion. Not the energy of overwhelm, of running away from something, the energy of being excited and running towards something. Beautiful. Yes, you're ready. You're inspired. Those of you who are still doing this, you know who you are. You're inside healing, and that's fine. But those of you who are coming to this leap of faith moment, the dreamer, the chariot, the queen of air, ace of air, I want you to know, take action from a heart-based, loving, forgiving, playful, more joyful place. Anything that you can do that makes the world happier for at least one other person or one other animal, plant, entity, consciousness. Anything you can do that makes the world brighter. Do it. Even if it's a small thing. Acts of kindness, they multiply. All joy is connected to other joy. You can do it. Take action on those loving impulses that you have. And you'll be shown true magic. True magic in the world. I'm going to get that aha, ace of air. And you'll know, hey, I changed reality. I did that. I was part of that. I was part of making the world this amazing, new, magical, heart-based, more loving place. I did that. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna wrap stuff up. Gonna do our wonderful, playful, for that Sun, Jupiter day. How to be playful and celebrate. Because this week is pretty good. Even the Pluto stuff is, in the end, for your own good. It might be tough, but just like the Queen of Air says, you do need to clear out anything that doesn't serve you. So having those tough conversations might be exactly what you need. And it might inspire you to get on a new, more empowered path. And it might strengthen these relationships and make them more trustworthy. Anything transformative and challenging, remember challenging beginning? Anything that you're going through right now that's challenging, you don't have to do anything. You're a divine being and you have free will, but it is for your greatest good if you can just trust that everything is trying to work out for you. Because you have so much spiritual aid. You really do. You have so many loving beings and guides who are waiting to help you at all times. And they know this is where you want to be. This is coming to you. You might have some challenging stuff you need to go through, like that precipice. You might have to take a trip. But, that's what the hero journey is about. Hero goes on a journey in order to transform and find joy. And make the world better. Okay, so let's celebrate with our wonderful and silly, lighthearted, consider a more playful approach. Let's do a more playful victory reward dice. Yeah. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. Which dice will it be? All right, everyone. Do lunch. Yeah, especially Jupiter Sunday. Not Jupiter Sunday, but that Jupiter Sun aspect. Beautiful. Or do lunch to have maybe that conversation that you've been wanting to have, because it's for your greatest good, and hey, it might turn out better. And even if it doesn't, it's still for your greatest good and might turn out better. So yeah, do lunch at a place that makes you feel happy, And because we're all trying to lighten up, we're all trying to focus on the things in life that we really enjoy. So go to somewhere that makes you feel good. Good food, good atmosphere. Yeah. Do it. Do lunch. Amazing. And fun. And yes, thank you so very much. This reading, it contained a lot of really deep stuff, and I hope that many of you were able to absorb that. If not, you might have to watch it again or just kind of take it on faith and process it through your heart instead of with your mind, because the mind might be going, what's going on? But just the direction of this looks so encouraging, and I'm very, very excited for us. I'm very excited to see what crops up when the moon gets full. That's going to be very interesting. But in the meantime, really great transformative stuff, maybe some inspirations happening, and maybe some really much needed self-examination and examination of relationships. So maybe you need to have those conversations at lunch. Okay. If you would like your own reading, I do offer all sorts of readings at the shinyallthetime.com website. This reading's amazing and awesome and has lots to process, but if you want one of your own, I do have a services page at shinyallthetime.com. Please feel free to visit that services page, shinyallthetime.com/services, or you can follow the services link at the top of any shinyallthetime.com page, and I will be happy to serve you in any way you order off of that page. Yes, please like, subscribe, share, and yeah, I'm excited for all of us. Respectful of what everyone's going through, but in general, much more positive outcomes beginning to show themselves. Very cool. Get out there, everyone. Stay shiny. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.